Hello Booktube community, and welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. I do have a book review to do on a tiny little book that I read, but I just want to go on a bit of a rant here today. I've kind of stayed off of Booktube for a while because I've noticed some things about it that I really didn't like. When I first joined Booktube, it was for the love of the books, it was for the love of reading, it was for the love of education. It was for trying to find someone to talk to that likes books, that wants to comment on books with me, and that we can discuss things together. Not a lot of people are talking, not a lot of people have joined my channel, but again, I'm not actively searching. What I have noticed, though, is there's a lot of comments out there about, well, if you're not reading this book, then you're not a real reader, or if you haven't read, 100 books by now, you're not a real reader, or if you're only reading little books, you're not a real reader. And it got me thinking, like, there is a lot of that in everything in the world. It is, I'm better than you, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you suck just to make myself look better. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick of it. And seeing it on YouTube or on Booktube is really starting to upset me because I don't really care what people read or don't read, or how they read, or how long it takes them to finish a book, or if they only do 3 books a year. As long as they're reading, like that's all that matters. It shouldn't matter that it takes, so and so 2 days to read a book that it took so and so 3 weeks to read. Like that doesn't matter. And if that person's opinion of the book is different than your opinion of the book, doesn't mean that that person's evil. It just means that that person saw the book differently. And it doesn't mean that we can't discuss the differences that we felt we had, and it doesn't mean we can discuss the disagreements that we had, because that's the whole point of Booktube, was to discuss books. That doesn't mean that we all have to agree on the book that we're discussing. There's none of that community that used to be there. And then there's a really scary trend towards having to have many, many books, and having to have all brand new pretty books. And if you don't have lots of books, then you're not a real booktuber. And like, that's bull. Like, it used to be, when I first started, and I haven't been on here very long, but it used to be, what book did you read? What did you think of the book that you read? Oh, really? I felt this way. That kind of thing. And this world has gotten to be so negative, so everybody has to do what I say, that it's really depressing at times. Like, the fact that I just want to enjoy the book and read, and people are kind of scoffing at that. I don't know. I don't think that you have to be a genre-specific reader to be part of Booktube. I think that there should be more communication between everybody. I think there should be more support between everybody. Life's hard enough. Why the hell do we need to beat each other up? Like, why? Like, what is the point of knowing everything, of being better than everybody? Like, that makes your life pretty boring. Like, think about it. Okay, so you're better than everybody at reading. You've read everything, you know everything about every book, and you know everything there is to know. Okay, now what? Like, you can tell everybody how great you are, and that's your life? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's time for me to not be doing Booktube and just be doing my book reviews for me, which is how it started, or what happened to helping everybody out? What happened to being positive? Like, that's gone now. So what we're going to do is, I think that whatever I do, I'm going to try to find a positivity in it, and especially with my books. Like, even if I have a book I don't like, I'm going to find something positive and say it as well, because we need to be better to each other, because this anger towards everybody is not good, and it's going to affect people. And I think it's time that we need to step up and be kind to one another, because if we don't have one another, what have we got? So I'm sorry to rant and go off on a tangent, but I am not liking the way things are going, and I'm hoping that we can find a way to change it, or maybe even just get a group of like-minded people who are there to support each other and stick with each other. I don't know, but we need to be more positive here. We need to be more supportive. We need to get more people reading. Like, we shouldn't have to tell people how to read or, judge them for what they're reading. We just need to get people reading, because it's going on the wayside now, and that's a shame. So, thanks all for letting me rant, and I will go do my book review.